So an enterprising partnership. 45 runs have come off 41 balls. A bit of a counter-attack by these two. At one stage, they were 18 for 5, mind you, in danger of actually capitulating tonight. But this has been a brave and enterprising effort by these two.
Yeah, it's been good. It's been assisted also by the fact that the swing has lessened slightly. Irfan Pathan will also be tiring. He's just bowled his 8th. And a good idea from Tatenda Taibu and Charles Coventry to take it to them a little bit, choosing wisely as far as the balls they choose to hit to the boundary are concerned.
It's gone in the air, but far short of that fielder at deep mid-wicket. That's Virendra Sehwag. Bit of the use of the feet by Coventry. 3 overs to go. They are taking a few risks, especially Coventry.
Yeah, he's got quick feet, Charles Coventry, but he doesn't quite get to the pitch of that. Harbhajan Singh may have seen him coming and adjusted his length.
Well, there's a change in the field placement by Harbhajan. He's got a predominantly onside field. 2 short legs, the backward and a forward, a short mid-wicket, and then 3 in the deep. So he's going to be leg stumpish. But that's the fear, that's the problem with this field, that every time Taibu will put bat to ball, he's going to get a single. He's onside field or not, he's still got to land it outside off stump and get it to turn into the right-handers. Bit of a change for Coventry. The backward short leg comes to a silly point position. Two overs to go. It's 65 for 5. So 2 overs to go. Harbhajan Singh is none for 13 of 2. Pathan 4 for 35 of 8. And yet another bowling change, is it? Yes, indeed. We have Anil Kumble coming on. A slip, a forward short leg, and a silly point. So 2 more overs to contend with for Zimbabwe and Taibu. Incidentally, Taibu scored 99 runs and is yet to be dismissed in this match. Scored 71 not out and now has 28 not out.
Anil Kumble bowling in the first innings to the Zimbabweans slowed his pace down a little bit because he found some turn in the track every time he tossed the ball up. Well, relatively speaking, in a comparison to the way that he bowls normally, he found some turn. Now normally you'd expect that bounce would be the factor that would be most dangerous as far as Anil Kumble is concerned, and you'd expect that it would bounce a bit more in this second Zimbabwean innings.
I think there's a case for bringing in another close-in fielder, putting a little more pressure on Taibu, maybe prompting him to go on the offensive. Well, that almost got through under the bat. He has many wickets like this, Anil Kumble, yorking the batsman. It's the trajectory which is difficult to ascertain.
Yeah, it just keeps coming at you, coming in towards you.
the 3 close-in catchers. There's a mid-wicket fielder. That mid-wicket fielder could very well be brought into a short position, add some more pressure, make him play onto the onside. I'm sure Taibu is going to be now hoping to keep wicket intact. Just 2 overs to be bowled. Last ball from Anil Kumble, and maybe another over. Oopsie, that almost got through again, the inside edge, and Taibu changes ends and will have to play the last over as well. It's 66 for 5. This is the last over. Taibu, that's the very easy single. They wouldn't mind that. Probably would like to attack Coventry. The lesser of the experience between the two. This is his debut, Charles Coventry. And I think he's got his man. Has he? Yes, he has. Straight played into short legs hands, and Gambhir takes it, and Harbhajan has his 200th. Zimbabwe have lost their 6th.
Charles Coventry looking to play in the same way that Tatenda Taibu has been playing, just nudging the ball onto the onside, but is unable to get to the pitch. They're always reaching for that, and having not got there, tries to keep it down by rolling the wrists. Only succeeds in finding Gautam Gambhir on the onside, so he goes for 24, and Zimbabwe has 67 for 6. Harbhajan Singh, 200 wickets in Test cricket.
And in 46 tests, let me remind you, he becomes the fastest Indian bowler to reach 200 wickets in Test. So Coventry not impressed, very disappointed in fact. Zimbabwe tottering at 67 for 6 in complete disarray. But Taibu, the one man who stands amidst the ruins, is on 30. He's yet to be dismissed. So Zimbabwe in great trouble. 67 for 6. 81 minutes they played, and in less than 18 overs they lost those 6 wickets. Not a lot of resistance by the batsman. Can't make pretty reading if you're a Zimbabwe supporter. There you are. 4 to Taylor, 2 for Duffin, Masakadza 2, 1 for Ibrahim. Taibu not out 30. Shows again that he is the man for the job at this level. 0 to Streak and 24 to Coventry.
Well, as far as the bowling is concerned, Irfan Pathan, absolutely fantastic. 4 for 35 with 3 maidens, and then a couple of wickets from Zahir Khan and Harbhajan Singh.
So, highlights for today. Saurav Ganguly getting to 100.
It was a really hard fought 100. He was intent on getting to 100. Once he got there, decided to try and break free and got caught. There was some more smashing to come from Harbhajan Singh. Decided that he was going to take the Zimbabwean spinners on and show them how far he could hit them. Anil Kumble tried to get in on the act and couldn't quite connect, getting caught on the mid-off fence. Harbhajan just continued with his smashing. Then Zahir Khan came in and also went with the flow. And one too many from Harbhajan Singh. Hit straight up into the air, and Coventry taking a second catch. Then it was Zimbabwe's turn to bat. They started off fantastically with that first ball. Taylor hitting it into the onside for 4, but then not contending with the swing, LBW. Then Masakadza swinging at a wide one, caught in the gully. Duffin unable to deal with in-swing as well from Zahir Khan, who swings it the other way. Tatenda Taibu came to the crease earlier than expected. Couldn't form too much of a partnership with Dion Ibrahim as he let one go through the gate and onto his stumps. Heat Streak then came to try and see it out for the night, but he let one go that bent back towards his stumps. And not so long ago, Charles Coventry, who had played so well, couldn't quite get to the pitcher one and couldn't keep it down or evade. The man at short leg got caught, and so Zimbabwe 6 wickets down for a 67 after their first innings of 279, and they're replying to India's 554. Zimbabwe trail by 208 runs, and so we'll come back tomorrow to try and overhaul that, but it's not looking good. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
And a fighting 101 by Ganguly, 4 wickets to Mavire and 3 to Debengwa. In reply, Zimbabwe would be very disappointed with that scoreline, 67 for 6. They couldn't handle Pathan and Zahir Khan with the new ball. Pathan more especially because he got the ball to really swing in and dart around. 4 for 35. Taibu standing amidst the ruins at 30 not out. So he hasn't been dismissed in this test match yet. 71 not out and 30 not out. Well,
yeah, that's middle there, Andy. Right arm around the wickets.
Andy Blichnertz, 27, right arm, fast medium, left hand bat.
And give company to his captain. Now his captain has been on the field for 15 hours and 7 minutes out of 18 hours and 12 minutes. Unbelievable performance by Taibu. Harbhajan Singh, incidentally, has got to his 200. He got his 200th wicket, which was Charles Coventry. And that is a terrific performance. I have with me Pommy Mbangwa. Good morning, Pommy.
Yeah, morning, Arun. Good morning to everyone who may be watching this telecast. As you say, Arun, a lot of work for Zimbabwe. But more on the minds of the Indians will be they want to get this done and dusted as soon as possible.
Absolutely. I don't have any doubt in my mind that it's a really tough ask to try and save this game, but they can definitely extend it. Oh, that is a good way to begin proceedings. So that will give him a lot of confidence. I think Andy Blichnertz is best served if he plays his natural game.
Yeah, too true. He tried to play like a batsman, if I can put it that way, in the first innings, hang around and play these correct forward defensive shots and so forth, and not look to score. His mentality when he was out there was all wrong for the kind of player that he is. He needs to be looking to hit the ball for runs, and if he can't, then defend it.
There's a slip, a short leg and a silly point. Those are the close-in catchers. They're going to put a lot of pressure on him. Harbhajan possibly will bowl just this one over, try and get in the medium pacers and get that swing going again. So some pressure there for Blichnertz. You'd want him to come onto the front foot. That's it. Well played and well bowled. 71 for 6.
Center. Yeah.
Tatenda Taibu not out, 30 of 43. There are 2 slips and 2 gullies for him. And it's going to be Irfan Pathan from the far end or the airport end. He's got the wind with him. And Pommy, tell us about the airport end. Well, that's a short one. Lets it go by. Taibu's been very impressive, really.
I'll speak about the airport end in a while. It's no surprise that Irfan Pathan continues or is brought into the attack first up today. 18 overs have been bowled in this Zimbabwean innings, and so the ball is not at all old. The ball will still have a lot of shine on it and should still swing. Tatenda Taibu standing out of his crease, and keeper Dinesh Karthik trying to make sure he has something to think about after the ball's gone past him. Ducks under that and has to get back into his crease. At this, the city end, wouldn't be a surprise if Zahir Khan came into the attack now that Harbhajan's completed his over.
Yes, indeed. They really got the ball to swing, and that was their major weapon. They didn't try for too much pace. He's bowling in, well, the 120s, 130s Irfan, but the amount of swing that he got with the new ball, and that's the benefit of coming into bowl, 15, 20 over spell the night before, especially when the team has only 2 medium pacers, because then you can get a rest and come back in fresh the next day and again use the new ball. Normally, you tire after a 5-6 over spell.
What does help also is when you're successful with it, the 4 wickets that Irfan Pathan got yesterday will spur him on. Today he'll know that he can get a bag full here. And as you so rightly say, he gets 2 bites at the cherry when he's fresh. Come off batting and you bowl your 8 overs, and then you come up the next day and you can bowl 8 more.
Well, this is the one area that Taibu seems to be a little out of control with proceedings, when he's hoping that the ball will swing in and it doesn't, and he follows the ball. Well, he's managed to control it so far. He's still to be dismissed, so couldn't be really very bothered. But there's one way of tackling the swing. He's standing about almost 2.5 feet or 2 feet at least outside the crease, trying to obviate that late in swing. Right behind that one. So maiden over bowled, 71 for 6.
Yep, you're on the middle there. Left arm over here.
Irfan Pathan 4 for 35, 1 for 17 Zahir and 1 for 18 Harbhajan. So as expected, Zahir Khan has come back. The ball is still new, and they had spectacular success yesterday with it. It starts with a no ball, Zahir.
Zahir Khan is bowling from the city end, which has also been known in the past as the Matopus end. The reason I start to talk about that is because, Arun, you were asking about the airport end. Matopus is actually about 35 kilometers away from Bulawayo, where we are playing, and so I'd say another maybe 5 kilometers away from where he's actually bowling. And the airport end, the other end, the airport is about maybe 15 k's away from there.
I've often wondered how they name ends, and why do they name ends in any case? So it's the pavilion end or the far end.
Some people like to get creative.
Well, for the viewers, Zahir Khan is bowling from the pavilion end, and he's got the wind taking the ball into the left-hander. Yesterday he got Duffin bowled with a really a magical delivery that came into the left-hander. So that's what he's good at, bending it into left-handers. So they've got the right ends for both of them.
Yeah, they complement each other well. And that normally when you're facing a left-arm seamer, you expect him to get the balls to go across you just with the angle because of him bowling over the wicket, and you don't expect the ball to actually swing away from you as a right-hander. And what you're looking for mainly is what Irfan Pathan does when the ball comes back at you. It's a different kettle of fish when Zahir Khan is bowling. If he could actually swing it back into the right-hander, he'd be a real handful. And that's not to say he's a handful for the Zimbabweans already.
Yes, I agree with you. I'm sure that they're working on it, getting that ball to swing into right-handers. Once you can get even one or two deliveries like that, you know, in every couple of overs, then that gets the batsman thinking. But at the moment, despite the fact that he isn't getting too many to come in, he's still a handful. He's experienced. He gets the ball to move away, gets a good angle, puts it in the right areas. So there is a problem with no balls. This is the second, no, this is the fourth no ball in this innings. Second today by Zahir. Well, he's had 9 no balls in the first innings. Now you could lose wickets there. You're definitely losing runs. It's crucial that he amends this problem that he has, addresses it in the nets. Did that keep a little low, or my eyes playing tricks? Blicknote was definitely expecting it to come a lot higher. Didn't quite get up. Did keep a little low. Also came a little slow off the wicket. Now we've seen that throughout this game, that once the new ball, or once the ball has lost its shine, then it doesn't skid off the surface, it just holds up that fraction and it tends to slow down.
Yeah, quite a lot of the time there I find that the reaction or the way that the batsman plays the delivery gives people the wrong impression. Yeah, speaking about that ball maybe keeping a little bit low, I think it's probably because Andy Blicknote first of all wanted to go forward, then decided to jump back because it wasn't quite the length he wanted, and then sort of poked his bat out at it. But by and large this wicket has been good, and I don't expect it to be any different today. It'll be good to bat on. It's just how the batsmen apply themselves.
That's successfully negotiated. The 2 no balls in it, 7-3 for 6. Irfan Pathan bowling with a short leg as well. He's bending the ball into the right-hander. Taibu with a little bit of an open stance. Taibu has his own method. Now this is definitely a first warning for Irfan Pathan. So Alim Dar is very, very conscious of the fact that you've got to stay away from the danger area. Take a look. Delivers 1 foot and the second one there. In the air for a while. Catch it was the call. But it was played in the gap. So Taibu has run well as usual and he's completed 3.
Yeah, a bit uppish, the drive. Looking to play onto that onside. Just got the feeling that he was trying to actually play it more on the offside rather than hit through the ball. He will get the wrong impression when told to play straight. And he's taking that ball from about leg stump and trying to hit it too straight rather than going through it and maybe hitting it wide of mid-on.
So Irfan Pathan has got an official warning for treading on the danger area or on the restricted area. That's runs. I think they'll be content with this one, as they should. No need to take risks. Now take a look at Irfan Pathan and his follow through.
He's just in it. He gets so close to the stumps when he delivers the ball, Irfan Pathan, that he finds it quite difficult. And it would be difficult for most other people to get out of that restricted area, the danger zone. And I tell you what, it doesn't do any harm if you are Harbhajan Singh and needing a little bit of rough outside the right-hander's off stump.
That's well played. Didn't quite get the power as he'd expected.
He's keeping umpire Alim Dar quite busy. Every single delivery that he bowls, umpire Alim Dar has a little look at where he's landing and he's trying to make sure that he's right out the area.
More runs, just the one. But how often do we see, I think it's all these perceptions may be slightly skewed in favor of right-hand batsmen. I see left-arm medium pacers are generally the ones that are looked at very, very closely because they are expected to be making that rough for right-handers. But right-hand medium pacers don't often get so close to the danger area, at least in the perception of the umpires. Maybe I'm wrong, but we had Zahir get a warning and now Pathan.
That's a single to end the over. I'll speak about that because I have some thoughts on what you're talking about there. It's the end of the over, 79 for 6.
Come September, we'll flood you with wonder as we bring to you star-studded Bollywood blockbusters. So get ready to sing, dance, rock, and chill with our most happening events. So come and fall in love with our television shows, where a breeze of romance will take you to another world. Only on Sony Entertainment Television Asia.
Zimbabwe 79 for 6. They'd be happy they haven't lost a wicket. Although just about 4 overs and a few balls have been bowled. But it's imperative that they handle the first few overs well. You need to get settled on this wicket, and once you get settled you find it relatively a lot more easy to handle the bowling because it's slow and it comes easy paced, regular bounce. There's not too much happening off the wicket I mean. So you just need to get a little settled. Twami, you were saying something about the danger area.
Yeah, well, generally with left-arm seamers, they're bowling to right-handers predominantly, and they're trying to swing the ball back into their pads or give the impression that they will do that to the right-hander. That's a good shot. It's a very good shot. Andy Blichnout was waiting for that. It was short enough to pull away, and it did so with ease. Easy pace to this wicket.
Yes, you cannot pitch short and not have it come head high. Now that was easy for him. He didn't even have to go across. He really smashed that one, launched into it, made such a terrific sound of the willow. It's always a pleasing sound if you're a batsman. Wow, that is well played. More runs. That's very well played indeed. It may not carry to the fence. It's a fast outfield, and yet this is probably the longest part of the ground. They've got 3.
Long chase for the captain. Yeah, just talking about that danger area. As a left armer, you try and get really close to the stumps. And because you get close and you're bowling to the right-hander, you've got to try and make sure that the ball lands in line with the stumps so you can be successful in getting an LBW. The rough there on the left-hand side of your picture is what Irfan Pathan is creating. That's a good shot. He's going to get one for it because of the fumble. But then looking at it from the other perspective, where you're saying it's just the left-handers that have the problem, or that seem to have the problem with the umpires, the right-handers predominantly bowl to right-hand batsmen, and so don't need to get really close to the stumps in order to get the ball to land wicket to wicket to get LBWs. It doesn't matter if the ball lands outside of stump, as long as it strikes the batsman in line with the stumps. So they don't, all they'll make sure of is that they don't go too wide from the stumps, so that the ball's angling down the leg side. No ball called, and because of that, they are able to quite easily get out of that danger area with the natural movement from the follow-through, which takes them off the wicket.
So they're more right-handers than left-handers.
Generally speaking.
Yeah, they are. That's true. Don't ask me why, though. I don't know. But here's Zahir Khan, and his problems continue to plague him. 2 slips, a gully and a short leg. He's coming from round the wicket. Maybe a slower delivery, that one. Yes, indeed, 113. That's why he couldn't quite get a hold of it.
I like Andy Blichnout's approach here. Even with this slower ball, you can see that his back lift was going up. He saw that it was in his area and he was looking to punch it down the ground. There it is, the off-spin version of it. Andy Blichnout looking to drive it down the ground, but the pace having been taken off, he played just a little too early.
It's 88 for 6. Oh, that has really been clobbered. In the slot outside the off stump, he didn't try to hold back at all. Wherever it went, he really launched into it. Didn't need to keep it on the turf at all. Got 4 for it.
Yeah, big gaps on the offside. And when an opportunity like this presents itself, Atenda Taibu will throw the kitchen sink, as he's done then. It's a good shot.
They've scampered through for one now. Tatenda Taibu has got such a low center of gravity. He gives the impression that he's so stable, so balanced, and very easily gets under the deliveries with minimum movement. So there'll always be a debate whether a tall batsman has an advantage over a short batsman, or vice versa.
Yeah, I tell you what, talking about debates, there's one going around about your neighbor. You're from Calcutta, and there's a fellow on the field from Calcutta who's had a bit of a cloud hanging over him, Sourav Ganguly. It's well bowled, well negotiated too. Sourav Ganguly got 100. There he is. He's not got too many worries, I suspect. Suggested that he was asked to step down as captain before this test match. Hence, when we watched him, he played with a certain determination to get to 3 figures. That paid off in the end. What do you make of it all, Arun?
Well, exactly that, Pommy, that just look at the end result of it all, and it's worked really well for all concerned. He played with enormous determination. He wouldn't have played that way, I'm sure, if it hadn't happened, that incident. And you know, if it were tactics, purely tactics, I would think they were superb on the part of Greg Chappell to really prick you and where it hurts and make you, you know, shake you from that slumber and make you play to your potential and your ability. But whatever the motives, we don't know. But the end result is that Sourav Ganguly's got 100. That's what I told him yesterday. Well, that was in the air for a while, but so it's good that he played that way and got that 100, and he's got out of that rut of not getting 100 for 13 games and things like that. So eventually it's worked out well, but I do believe that the press and the media is going to play a lot more into it. But these are two very mature adults, Ganguly and Greg Chappell, both with a sane head on their shoulders, and I expect that they'll work it out for the benefit of Indian cricket.
Yeah, look at his figures. They're good figures by anyone's standards. It's a good shot. He's gone over mid-off. Andy Blucknote playing in the way that everybody knows him to play. Hasn't quite got all of it, so just gets 3 runs. That's the end of that over. It's 96 for 6.
Pakistan's best, only on Sony. Watch the talent bubbling out of Pakistan with our very own Pakistan chart show. Who will be number 1? Find out only on Sony. The Volume.
So a change in bowling now being contemplated and put into effect. Harbhajan Singh is coming back in place of Zahir Khan. Zahir has bowled 3 overs today. So that's a quick change. Now that's what Sourav Ganguly is good at. Now he doesn't follow a regular tradition. He's not shackled by any other perceptions but his own and how he views the game. If he feels that a certain bowler is not being effective, even though he's taken a wicket, he'd want to attack the new batsman with another bowler. He does it. I've seen him change a bowler even after taking a wicket in an over. He just follows instinctively what he thinks should be done, and it's worked for him so far, I must add.
Yeah, one thing about the discussion we just had about Sourav Ganguly and Greg Chappell, these might actually be the merits of having Greg Chappell as the coach, being Australian. And yes, it might now be debatable whether they're the best in the world, but they certainly had the best methods. That's a good shot. That should go off to the boundary. It's a very good shot. He's played with the spin, allowed the ball to come to him, Andy Bluchnote, and stroked it through the offside.
It's also brought the 100 for Zimbabwe. 100 for 6 now. What a wonderful shot. Andy Bluchnote is a bit of an enigma to me. We saw him play in the first innings, and we're now seeing him play under enormous pressure in the second innings. But take a look at the difference. Once you remove a little bit of weight from his shoulders, he's such a refreshing player with the bat and the ball. He's got definite ability.
Yeah, he does. Had a chat with him about his innings, his first innings, and I asked him why he was looking to play the way he did, and he said, well, I was trying to stay there. I asked, well, what the point is, staying there without scoring any runs? And he quite agreed. He said, well, I know, I just get caught in between, he said, between staying there and playing shots, and I've got to try and get a mix. And he said, well, from now on, I'm just going to look to be positive so that I don't have any regrets when I get back into the change room.
Exactly, you've just got to clear your mind. Once you know the way you're going to approach an innings, you're generally going to play to potential. But normally, when some hesitancies creep in, or when some doubts creep into the way you're going to approach your innings, or on your ability or your form, that's when you find it difficult. At the moment, he's doing a fine job, Bluchnote. It's 100 for 6 Zimbabwe.
Coming down. Coming down.
100 for 6 and another boundary. So runs are coming very quickly. They are playing positively, the Zimbabweans. Both these two have decided that they're not going to just hang around there. They're going to attack the bowling, and that's, at the moment, is a strategy which is succeeding. It's 104 for 6. And to tell you more about it, Harsha Bhogle and Sunil Gavaskar.
He is a good player, isn't he, Harsha? Mind you, there are attacking fields, so there are gaps to be taken. And Irfan Pathan, trying to get a bit of swing, is getting the ball to pitch up. But still, to play in the positive manner that Taibu and Bluchnote have done today is indeed very refreshing.
Yes, I'll tell you what I love. We're seeing a young man saying, hang on, you might have made all your calculations about what's going to happen this morning, but I am part of that calculation as well, and I'm not standing here just to get out quickly and make it a short cricket playing day for you. Taibu and Bluchnote are making this, from an Indian point of view, a bit of an anticlimax. So Saurav Ganguly back on the field after all the storm off it, doing what he does best, being with his players on the team, and that's what a captain should be all about. I'll tell you, in many ways, for all the Indian performances, this has been Taibu's test. If he gets a half century here, he's on 44. He'll have had 2 half centuries, a brilliant catch, and 152 overs of wicket keeping.
Well, if he's not the man of the match, and we're talking about Taibu here, not Greg Chappell, he certainly is the man in the match. He's been busy. 152 overs of keeping wickets, trying to lead the side, trying to effect bowling changes, trying to arrange the field. And then coming and batting after 3 wickets were down for nothing, or pretty much nothing, and batting in the manner that he has really makes him a rare talent.
He's just pulling out. He's saying, hang on, don't run in so quickly. You cannot bowl unless the batsman's ready. Aleem Dar, his 23rd test match. 37 years old. His reputation growing. It's 104 for 6. So Zimbabwe trail by 171. 4 wickets in hand, but this partnership is already worth 37. Yes, an afterthought of an appeal. That's a giveaway in itself.
Yes, a little bit of turn there. If it had been a dusra, then he could have been in business. Playing with the soft bottom hand, Andy Blignott. Not poking at it, just waiting for the ball to come. And then playing with a soft bottom hand. You can actually see the body language of Harbhajan after getting that 200th wicket yesterday. There's a certain tenseness about him till that wicket. After that, he's really relaxed.
India have got a substitute on the field. Dheeraj Jadhav, who came in as a replacement for Sachin Tendulkar. It's his birthday today. Turns 26. So happy birthday, and I hope that's the reason they've sent him out. So go and get a feel of what it is to be in India colours out on a test match. If you've never actually been there as a player, that's the next best thing, to be out there on the ground. And I remember, Sunny, when Sachin Tendulkar was, 15? I think he made his debut for Mumbai when he was 15. But he was put in the squad towards the end of the season when he was just 14. First touch on the ball, that's what you might say if you're a footballer. He was put in as a substitute when he was 14. 106 for 6. And Zimbabwe not just scoring runs, they're scoring them pretty quickly, going at 4 and over. You'd expect that with Blignott, but Taibu's been very positive as well. And so Pathan's had to be taken off. Anil Kumble comes on from that airport end. It's an interesting little airport, that in Bulawayo. 96th match, 463 wickets. I mean, World discussion often centers around Muralidharan and around Shane Warne when it comes to spin. This man very quietly has been picking up wickets. No doubt at all, is one of the biggest giants of Indian cricket. Eyes set on 500. Who knows when thereafter. He's got a lot of test cricket coming up over the next year and a half. First 3 tests at home against Sri Lanka, then 3 in Pakistan, 3 at home against England, then a tour to the West Indies. How close was that? Would that have gone on to hit leg stump? Not in the opinion of Alim Dar.
The ball also ricocheted off to VVS Lakshman, who's not at silly point, but he's like short point. There it is. It's ricocheted off to a fair distance.
Point of impact was well outside the leg stump. Not out either.
Well, Taibu's obviously playing for the turn. There's no turn there. He's firing those cricket deliveries. Yes, he's playing for the turn. The bat's way outside the pads. And again, I think it would have just marginally missed the leg stump, or maybe kissed the leg stump. But the umpire has to be absolutely 100% certain it was going to go on to hit the stumps. Any doubt, he's going to rule in favour of the batsman.
In this case, a kiss is often good enough.
I think Harsha, I think the umpires are not really looking at the kissing aspect. They're looking for the smack.
Word by any other name. Word by any other name. Taibu, Zim's little master, and that's very good. I hope you're sporting Taibu. I hope you want to grow up and become a cricketer like him. Not only play cricket like him, but have his maturity as well. "100 kilometers an hour," that one. About 10 kilometers an hour quicker than the first ball. He's a master of change of pace.
And accuracy. He is on the spot straight away from the first ball. Not easy for leg spinners to do that. Finger spinners can hit the spot straight away. Not the wrist spinners. Wrist spinners sometimes can bang the ball in a little short. One more maiden from Anil Kumble, 6 for 106.
Did you know that the bacteria on your tongue are a major source of bad breath? That's why Aquafresh has created the first brush designed to clean both your teeth and your tongue to remove 5 times more bacteria. Aquafresh Tooth and Tongue Brush take the feeling of clean to the extreme.
Is it? Is it? Is the 4th highest off spinner in history? Well, he's heaved that. He picked that from a couple of stumps outside the off stump, and he had made up his mind that's where the ball is going to go.
I'm not too sure he actually hit it where he wanted, because although it's a boundary, he just hit it a little bit up in the air. Might have hit it a little too early. I think he was looking to sweep it, but it's gone to mid-wicket. Never mind, it's still a boundary, and you can see the bat came off the bottom hand. So he's not quite got hold of it properly, because the ball didn't quite come on to him as he wanted. Came on a lot slower.
Not out, says the umpire. Yes, every time no shot is offered, everyone starts to get a little excited.
Well, it's not the dusra. You can see from the seam that it's pointing towards first slip, so he's looking to turn the ball away from the left-hander.
But Sunny, why would you appeal for that? It's clear as daylight to everyone. That ball's pitched outside the offstump. It's turning away from the left-hander. Why would you appeal?
Well, sometimes bowlers do that to put a little pressure on the batsman. Sometimes bowlers do that to ensure that there is no leg by taking the ball as ricocheted off.
All through him. Harbhajan picks up the first wicket of the morning, and while he's not showing it, I'll tell you, this is a wicket that will give him a lot of satisfaction, because he has done Andy Blicknott quite brilliantly.
Yes, beat him in the air and had him playing a little too soon. What a terrific delivery. What a peach of a delivery. Look at that. Generously tossed up and woof. The middle stump knocked back. No clue whatsoever. And even Andy Blicknott will acknowledge that he was deceived. All ends up. The 7th wicket down for Zimbabwe for 110.
Here starts the journey.
There's two aspects to Keith Dabengwa. In fact, there's a third. I think he's brilliant in the field. Live wire, loves moving around, loves having the ball coming at him. A batting average of 18. He batted quite refreshingly. These are early days, and the experience could only have done him good. But take a look at this beauty from Harbhajan.
You can see that the seam is pointing towards slip, so he was looking to turn the ball, but it's a huge gap. And look at the lack of balance. And Yuvraj and Harbhajan, they have obviously got some signal planned. Oh, turn there. 1-1-0 for 7.
You don't know? Mohan doesn't know. So Anil Kumble will continue. Searching for the single, it wasn't there. I can assure you they could have run that run another 20 times. There still wouldn't have been one in it.
Yes, it was hit a little too firmly and straight to the fielder at mid-on. I think Taibu just wants to get off the strike there. He's been stuck on 44 for some time now.
Yes, that single is easily achieved. It'd be interesting to see, though, how Taibu bats with the tail. I think as long as Dabengwa is in, he made 35 in the first innings. He's got to give Dabengwa the strike whenever the opportunity presents itself. Not search to give it, but just play normal cricket. Ewing and Mavire. That'll be interesting when he gets there. 1-1-1 for 7. 4 fielders around the bat now for Kumble, apart from the wicket-keeper. Off the thickish outside edge, they'll run away down to the boundary. Brings a little cheer from a little crowd that's gathered here.
Yes, they have very little to cheer at Zimbabwe's performance. And Dabengwa can be the kind of popular player because he's such a good fielder. Just opening the face of the bat, I don't think it was an edge. I think he just opened the face of the bat over there. There was no protection for Anil Kumble. He doesn't have a backward point. He probably